Hello, everyone. Happy Women's Day. Bonjour à tous. Bonne fête des droits des femmes. Vous êtes tous les bienvenus. Welcome. Please choose your preferred language. If you want to have English, then you have the English channel just in the bottom of your browser. Si vous voulez nous entendre en français, allez sur le canal de traduction. Hello, everyone, and happy International Women's Day. What a pleasure to see all the women gathered here as panelists. And what a privilege to have people attending this webinar. We are so happy to have you all. How wonderful it is to be gathered in this platform and have our family conversation today focused on the women's leadership under the theme, Inspire Inclusion. Yes, because as a YMCA, we are more used to see men's leadership, and it is so nice to be able to show today that the YMCA, the African YMCA, is really keen to open space for female leadership and foster women's leadership. So welcome to you all. Today we are graced of the participation of the following eminent female leaders. We have Ethiopia Tilahun, our Vice President and our host today. We also have Esther Angweni, who is our gender representative. She is a member of the executive committee. Then we have Nalisu Andenarivu, member of the World Alliance of YMCA's executive committee. She is also an S2C ambassador and a change agent. We might have a bit later Hannah Coker, board chair of the Gambia YMCA, and Ayo Manga, board chair of the Senegal YMCA. And now, just now, we are so happy that we also have Irene. We also have Irene Ralu Kotsine, board chair of the Cameroon YMCA. And with us, we also have Sharon Owino from Kenya YMCA. She is S2C ambassador and change agent. And we have Nora Shabu from Zambia YMCA. And then we have Francesca from Ghana YMCA. We are also joined by our youth representative and executive committee member, George Delakofi from Ghana YMCA. As you see, this will be then a nicely set intergenerational family conversation. Thank you again for being with us. Before we hear from our eminent leaders here, I would like to invite you to a few minutes of devotion. As a YMCA, we always have to start our sessions with devotion, and we do it with pleasure. And then that will be followed by some information and housekeeping from our colleague Lavini Mali, our communication officer. So let us allocate a few minutes of our time for a devotion. Lavin, would you like please to share the devotion slide for all of us?
Yes, Nirina.
Thank you. As we wait a little bit for the screen to come, just to remind, if you are joining us, you are now in the English language channel. Si vous nous joignez et vous voulez entendre la traduction en français, s'il vous plaît, allez en bas de l'écran. Vous allez avoir la traduction française dans l'icône de traduction. Chers leaders, encore une fois, bonne fête des femmes. Leaders, once again, happy Women's Day. Let us allocate a few time for our devotion. What you see in your screen right now is an African women devotional Bible. And today I think it is so relevant to disclose the existence of such powerful tool in our hand. So I would like to start the devotion in reading a verse that is from this version, the version of the African Women Devotional Bible that is edited by the Bible Society, the United Bible Society. If you go to your Bible library, Christian libraries or Christian bookshops, you could find it easily. Let us read the quote from Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 25. It reads, "Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she loves at the future to come." Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she loves at the future to come. Now let us hear from a story from a young African woman who wanted to witness on how did she take this Bible quote for her life. And this quote actually is inside even this African Women Devotional Bible. So this is how she share her story or share her inspiration. Give allegiance to God alone. Woman of Africa, I received from my mother what she received from her mother. Woman was made for man and never for herself. She bows before men, for they are leaders. She keeps quiet, stands in corner, and waits to be given the floor, some space. Woman of Africa, she told me, if you know how to honor a man, if you know how to give him value, if you know how to keep quiet when he speaks, if you accept his authority, then he will make more room for you. He will give you a name. No, but as a young woman from Africa, I have been freed from the domination of men. I honor them without fearing them. I respect them without venerating them. And I bow down before God alone, for he is the one who gives justice to me. And this is from Proverbs 29, verse 26. Blessed be God who frees me from the power of human beings and brings justice to me. Woman of Africa, you too, you can find dignity, freedom, and honor in him. And then let us share the prayer she has made. A dear Heavenly Father, help us to honor you above all others. Guide us to act with dignity and freedom as your daughters. Amen. I hope that devotion could speak to us as we now are celebrating the International Women's Day. As we continue, I would like now to invite Lavin, our communication officer, to give us some technical guidance. Lavin, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Nirina. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining us. I hope you're all doing well. So before we begin our session, I'd like to go over a few housekeeping items to ensure that our meeting runs smoothly. So firstly, please note that everyone will be muted throughout the meeting to minimize background noise and disruptions. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to type them in the chat box and our team will address them accordingly. Additionally, as Nirina had mentioned in the beginning, we have interpretation services from English to French. For those who may require translation, please select your preferred language from the interpretation feature at the bottom right of your Zoom screen. The feature looks like a globe icon. And if you're an English speaker, choose English. And if you're a French speaker, you can choose French. Towards the end of our session, we'll have a dedicated Q&A session where you will ask any lingering questions and thoughts that you might have during the discussion. Feel free to use the raise hand feature during the period to ask questions or share your thoughts verbally. Alternatively, you can continue using the chat box at the bottom left of the Zoom screen. Your active participation is highly encouraged. Lastly, I would also like to inform you that our meeting is being recorded and it is also being live streamed on our YouTube channel for the benefit of those who could not join us today on Zoom. Thank you for your attention to these housekeeping matters. I would like to hand over the mic back to Nirina. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Lavin. Now I would like to hand over to our host, our Vice President, Ethiopia Tilahun. Ethiopia is our Vice President elected from the General Assembly in November last year. She has served as the President of Ethiopia YMCA before joining us in this bigger responsibility. She's serving our movement as she is also as a professional leading another organization as a CEO. That is what she's doing as a profession. Ethiopia leads and serves with passion, love, and humility, to a point of putting herself to any risk for the benefit of the YMCA. Ethiopia, thank you for gracing us your presence here. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Nirina, for the introduction. Good morning, actually. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. All YMCA's families, happy International Women's Day. Thank you for joining us in this very important and special family conversation. As you know, International Women's Day holds immense significance as a point of gender equality and women's rights. It is a reminder of tireless effort and remarkable achievement of women worldwide. This year, the International Women's Day theme is Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress. It is a day to recognize the extraordinary act of women and to stand together as a united force to advance gender equality all around the world. Within the African YMCA community, women have played vital role in driving societal change, promoting equality, and fostering inclusive environment where individuals of all backgrounds can thrive. As we commemorate this day, it is crucial to recognize and celebrate the diverse contribution of women, both young and elders, in shaping the fabric of our society. When more women are empowered to lead, everyone benefits. Decades of studies showed women leaders help increase productivity, enhance collaboration, and inspire organizational dedication, and improve fairness. So today, we're going to talk about women leadership and commemorate the International Women's Day with the objective of acknowledging and celebrating the valuable leadership of women within the African YMCA movement, recognizing their resilience, passion, dedication, and positive change. Facilitate dialogue, providing a platform for meaningful conversation and exchange between female leaders from different generations, fostering mutual understanding, mentorship, and collaboration. Explore strategies and best practices for promoting inclusion, diversity, and gender equality within African YMCA, empowering women to drive lasting societal impact. Inspire and empower young female leaders by highlighting the achievement, experience, and journeys of established leaders within the YMCA network, nurturing a new generation of change makers. So for this, we have 9 panelists, and the introduction already have been made. So before I give, so for this panel discussion, I'll give 5 minutes for each discussants, panelists. And as I am one of the panelists, I just want to jump in and answer the guiding questions. For the first question talked about overcoming challenges, how I have been navigating on overcoming challenges as a female leader. So for me, one of the biggest things I have learned from my experience is that challenge is not only solely a problem. Rather, it's like a coin with 2 complete different sides. The front side of any challenge, which always comes first and easy to identify, is full of problems. However, if we try to see the other side of the coin, it shows us an amazing life-changing opportunity. So challenges always bring opportunities for me. Ever since I become aware of the fact that every challenge brings problem and opportunities to my table, I am always eager to see the opportunity side and tend to be more focused on it. The opportunity side give me the energy and motivation to overcome the problem side. The process of handling challenges, overcoming problems, using the energy and motivation emanate from opportunities is really fascinating life experience. So once you are accustomed with it, you will need more challenges in your life. So for me, challenges are there. We are living with challenge, but whenever we have challenge, let's try to change it to opportunity, because we need challenge to awaken ourselves from our sleeping. That's how I see challenge and how it is important for me to create a better version of myself. The second question is about promoting inclusion. How our local YMCA community is doing in promoting inclusion. In our local YMCA, Ethiopia YMCA, We have gender inclusive policies that develops and implement to promote gender equality and inclusivity with the organization. This includes policies related to recruitment, promotion, and retention of women staff members and board members. The other activities that we are doing, the other strategies that we are using is gender balance representation. We work actively toward achieving gender balance on board of directors. Now we have 9 board of directors, and from 9, 4 of us are women. So that shows that how we are balancing women and men in board of directors, and also beneficiaries mostly. We are also working the representation with our volunteers. So our YMCA is increasing the representation of women and create transparency and merit-based selection process. The other strategies that we are using is to create and promote a culture that value diversity, inclusivity, gender sensitivity. This includes promoting respectful and inclusive communication, ensuring equal opportunities for growth and participation. The other one is gender mainstreaming. So we always integrate a gender perspective into all aspects of the organization. These are some of the work that we are doing, and there are more also. But for the sake of time, I will jump to the next question. About leadership development and how can African YMCA better support the leadership development and mentorship of young women within the organization. For me, leadership comes from within. So young leaders should have responsibility to nurture themselves. Don't wait till people come and give you opportunities. You should find these opportunities and make the best out of it. Be best in what you are doing. Don't fear to make mistakes, because mistakes bring enormous learning to your life. And be yourself. That's very important. Be willing to be mentored by others, because mentorship is a great tool to bring growth and broadening of skills and mindset. So all YMCA's movements, I think, as a strategy, we have to put mentorship as one of a strategy we should put in place in our movements. The other thing for this leadership development is from the institution perspective. African YMCA as an institution can better support the leadership development and mentorship of young women within the organization by creating enabling various platforms for young people, for young female leaders, so as to help them exercise and practice leadership skill and nurture their potential. Promoting women leadership to attract young female leaders from every corner of life to participate, engage, and be agents of the desired social change. Ensuring that young people have got an opportunity when the right time comes. And the other one, as a strategy, I really want to see our female leaders, established leaders, to take responsibility to nurture young female leaders. I believe we all have come this far through the support, trust, and encouragement of others at our earlier stage of life. So the question that we have to ask is, to what extent are we supporting young female leaders around us who need our support, trust, and encouragement to be leader? Are we playing our expected role in networking these young leaders to the resource they need to grow? We are the one who need to take the first responsibility to nurture the next generation of female leaders by any means. I understand that it's challenging to take individual responsibilities to this massive cause, but without the commitment of individuals, it is very difficult to realize what we aspire for. So the other one is sustaining momentum. For me, mainstreaming is one of the key strategies to sustain momentum. women empowerment and gender equality concepts should be embedded in our policies, guidelines, strategies, and activities. That way, we'll continue the momentum beyond celebration. So these are some of my insights. And now I'll give the floor to Sharon to share her insights too. Thank you so much. Sharon, it's your turn now.
Hi, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are. It's quite evening here. Sorry, I'm on my way home. I had some activities that it's taking me like quite some time to finish. So I'm still on my way. I hope I'll be able to share much. So I'm on my way. Thank you, everyone. I believe.
Do you want to change to another person? So I can do that. I will give a chance to another person so that you can go to her. Yeah, is that good?
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Okay, let me do that. Then let me give the chance to Ayo then.
Hi. Bonjour tout le monde.
Bonjour Ayo, t'entendre.
Voilà.
Yes, we can hear you, Ayo.
Yeah. Merci de m'avoir invité à prendre part à ce panel, en ce jour solennel où nous fêtons les droits des femmes. En tout cas, nous remercions tout le monde et dire que c'est vraiment une très bonne initiative de nous permettre de fêter à distance, mais en étant en union et de célébrer cette journée si importante pour nous. Voilà. Bonjour, est-ce que vous m'entendez?
Yes, we can hear you, Ayo.
Ethiopia, maybe you can repeat the question to Ayo, since she just have joined. Ayo, Ethiopia voulait te donner l'espace pour partager avec nous ton expérience là où tu as pu voir des filles dans l'exercice de ton leadership et comment tu peux faire, comment tu peux promouvoir l'inclusion c'est ça que Ethiopia a demandé.
Ok. Alors, dans l'expérience que j'ai dans le YMCA, c'est que véritablement nous vivons le leadership féminin et que nous œuvrons pour aider les autres jeunes filles à pouvoir s'émanciper et à œuvrer dans le cadre de cette affirmation de leur leadership en leur permettant de pouvoir, dans les cadres de décision, pouvoir prendre part et y donner leur point de vue. Alors moi, personnellement, ce que j'ai vécu au YMCA m'a permis de comprendre que même si on est femme, on devrait toujours s'affirmer et montrer que la place que j'occupe est une place qui est digne de ce nom et c'est une place aussi que j'assume pleinement. À ma qualité de présidente, vous savez autant que moi que souvent quand on est avec des hommes, il y a certains qui n'aiment pas le leadership féminin et qui sont souvent hostiles à ce leadership féminin, mais il suffit de s'affirmer et de montrer qu'effectivement, nous sommes à la hauteur. Voilà. Ce n'est pas toujours facile parce que nous sommes avec des hommes qui, quelquefois, certains n'aiment pas le leadership féminin, mais il suffit de s'affirmer, de montrer que nous savons ce que nous faisons et que les responsabilités qu'on nous a confiées, parce qu'on nous les a confiées, donc ce sont des responsabilités, n'est-ce pas, que nous devons exercer en toute dignité. Et ce que j'ai comme réponse à cette question, Irina. S'il y a d'autres questions, je suis à votre disposition.
Yeah, Ayo, the second question is, in what way do you believe African YMCA can foster a more inclusive environment for women of all backgrounds and ages? And what strategies have you implemented to promote diversity and inclusion within your local YMCA community?
Si je comprends bien, Irina, c'est du côté de l'environnement, qu'est-ce que nous, en tant que femmes, nous aimerions mettre en place pour pouvoir promouvoir, n'est-ce pas, le respect de l'environnement. Je ne sais pas si je suis dans le sujet. Alors, si c'est ça, je n'ai pas de réponse, donc je vais aller dans ce cadre-là. Donc, au niveau du YMCA au Sénégal, dans le cadre de l'environnement, nous œuvrons beaucoup dans l'émancipation des jeunes femmes et aussi des hommes. Et d'ailleurs, nous avons beaucoup de projets qui ont trait à ça, tels que le projet Ampawanya, qui œuvrait à l'émancipation des jeunes, surtout des jeunes femmes, n'est-ce pas, dans le cadre de l'environnement. Ce qui fait que le YMCA, depuis, en tout cas comme en Casamance, nous avons un environnement qui est favorable. Nous avons toujours des camps organisés à travers le Sénégal, à travers la Casamance, pour pouvoir former les jeunes, surtout les femmes, n'est-ce pas, dans la prise en charge du cadre environnemental. It is a question. Est-ce que j'ai bien répondu à la question, ma chère collègue?
Yes, it is okay. Let's go to the third question, and then how can African YMCAs better support the leadership development of mentorship of young women within the organization? And what role do established leaders play in nurturing the next generation of female leaders?
L'Alliance africaine soutient beaucoup nos projets parce que dans le cadre des partenariats que nous avons, l'Alliance africaine, c'est elle qui, en quelque sorte, rassure le partenaire pour qu'il puisse venir investir au Sénégal. Parce que souvent, les partenaires sont un peu, se disent, est-ce que je vais au bon endroit? Et en ce sens, Nirina sait bien le faire. en nous appuyant, n'est-ce pas, par rapport aux partenaires et nous aider à pouvoir véritablement coopter beaucoup de projets afin de pouvoir avancer et avancer tranquillement. Voilà.
Thank you. So the last
It
question
is
is,
okay, your question?
yeah, I mean, that's what you reflect on. So let's go to the last question, okay? So as we celebrate International Women's Day, what strategies can African YMCAs implement to sustain the momentum of women empowerment and gender equality beyond this day? And how can we collectively work towards creating lasting change within our community?
Africains devraient œuvrer à mettre en place l'aspect genre pour aider les femmes à mieux s'émanciper au niveau du YMCA. Nous savons que la majeure partie de nos leaders est
Sorry, I think she disappeared. Yeah. Okay. Ayo, are you there? Ayo,
I think
are you there,
connect-
Ayo?
I
And I
think,
think connectivity is the problem.
yes, maybe you
oui.
can.
Je disais politique conservatoire pour aider à asseoir le mouvement genre dans le YMCA. Parce que nous savons que nous avons un mouvement qui est beaucoup plus, qui a beaucoup plus d'hommes que de femmes. Mais dans le cadre aussi de la prise de responsabilité, il y a souvent les femmes qui ne veulent pas prendre leurs responsabilités pour pouvoir s'engager. Je crois que nous-mêmes, en tant que femmes, nous devons aider les plus jeunes en leur montrant que la prise de décision est quelque chose de très important. L'occupation de postes de responsabilité est aussi quelque chose de très important parce que ça va nous permettre de montrer aux jeunes filles qu'elles peuvent, elles, à leur tour, prendre des responsabilités au sein du YMCA et nous permettre de pouvoir avancer. Sachez que quand le YMCA sera féminisé, vous verrez qu'on aura beaucoup d'avancées dans le cadre de notre mouvement. Voilà, je fais un clin d'œil aux hommes. Ne nous en voulez pas, nous ne sommes pas, c'est pas parce que nous sommes féministes, mais c'est un constat qui est fait aujourd'hui au niveau national et international. La féminisation, n'est-ce pas, montre de plus en plus les capacités de pouvoir avancer et d'aller de l'avant. Je vous remercie. Nirina, j'espère que j'ai répondu à la question.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Ayo.
Thank you,
So,
Madam President.
thank you. So let me give a chance to Nali, and she's going to reflect on the four questions. Nali, do you want me to read the questions or you already have it?
I already have the question. Thank
Okay,
you.
very good.
Hello, everyone, and it's so happy to be part of this conversation, family conversation with you all. So let me start with the first question. So, as a female leader, in order to overcome challenges, I think one of the things that really helped me is to have a resilient mindset, because as a leader, we face challenges, we have failures, we have setbacks. So once you face one of these, I think it's really important to be resilient. So today you fail, so next time you learn the lesson from that failure, so that you can be more successful. You can be successful next time. And also another lesson that I had learned in my leadership journey is to learn to seek help. Um, I am an independent person and I like being independent, but as a leader, you can't work on your own. You have to be surrounded with the other like-minded individuals, even to have a friend with whom you can talk to about your challenges. And I think it's also important to have a coach and if you can, to have a mentor that can guide you in your leadership journey. And the last lesson that I want to share about is to grab opportunities. That is a lesson that I have to learn within the YMCA. At first, I was pushed like, Nali, this opportunity is for you, apply. But then later on, I learned that even though I don't have all the qualities required for the opportunity, I just say, I'm going to apply. If I got the opportunity, I will learn the lessons along the way. So I think that's it for the first question. Now I'm going to move to the second question about the ways that we can promote inclusion within our African YMCA. I think it is really important for us within African YMCA to create safe and inclusive spaces for women. I mean that we need to have environment free from all form of discrimination, sexual harassment, any form of gender-based violence, so that women can feel safe. Women, the members, the staff, our beneficiaries can really feel safe at the YMCA, and they can also feel included. I think it's also really important that we develop programs and services that meet the needs of all women from different backgrounds, especially the most vulnerable ones, the ones who are out of school, also women with disabilities. I mean, the YMCA buildings that I have seen in Africa, I think none of them is disability accessible. I mean, like some of the buildings have offices upstairs, and women with physical disability can't access those buildings, those offices, for example. So we need to be inclusive. We need to take into account the needs of all women, taking into account their vulnerabilities. And I think one of the last point is education and awareness raising. Let's face it that in some of our African culture, women are still seen as less than men. They still think that less than men and boys. So I think that we need to make them aware that we are not less than them. We are equal. We are born equal. So we need to continue that education and to raise awareness around gender equality, women rights. So, concerning the strategies implemented in my Y to promote diversity and inclusion, we don't really have. I think one of the activities that we have within my branch, for example, we have one club that is totally dedicated around women empowerment. So in that club, they lead activities for women and how to empower them. And also in our S2C trainings, we learn about gender equality, gender equity, and also about transformative masculinity and positive masculinity. So now for the third question, how to enhance leadership development and mentorship of young women within the Y. I think we need to improve the women representation at different leadership levels. For example, it's good that we have a woman as a General Secretary of African Alliance, but as far as I know, in all over the African YMCA, there is only one woman that is the General Secretary. So that's only one woman against, I don't know, 16 other men General Secretaries. So we need to improve the situation. Concerning we need to have, I think we need to have like some mentorship initiative, like have like formal mentorship program that pair like experienced leaders with aspiring young leaders. For example, Ethiopia will be linked with someone from aspiring leader from Zambia. For example, like mentees and mentors, like a formal exchange. And I think that's about the third question. For the last questions about sustaining momentum, what strategies we can African YMCA implement to sustain the momentum? I think we need a change in our policy, in our constitution. Our constitution says that we need to have like 30% of women representation in our board, for example, whether it is at the African Alliance or at the national level. I think why should we only settle for 30%? We're talking about gender equality. We should go for 50%, 50% women and 50% men. I think also we need to engage men and boys when it comes to empowering women. Sometimes they think that women empowerment will be accomplished at the expense of boys or men disempowerment. That is true. We need their help so that we can develop together. So they should be our ally in this fight. And I think finally we need to partner and learn from other women, other peer organizations that are experts when it comes to women empowerment. I'm thinking about Girls Guides and YWCA. I think we can totally work with them so that we can learn from them. That's all from me. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Nelly. Thank you so much for the inspiring and a very good presentation. So let me give a chance to Francisca now. She said she has to leave early. So Francisca, please proceed.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Yes,
you.
we can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you.
So, nice meeting you all and nice
Francisca, you are breaking.
to us all. So, from my perspective, first one about how I navigate and overcome challenges.
Yeah, we can't hear you. Francisca, we can't hear you.
Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yeah, now it's better. Please continue.
Hello?
Yes, you can continue now, Francisca. Please continue, Francisca. We can hear you.
Yes. Okay. Sorry for the technical challenge. Nice to meet us all. Yeah, so for how I've been navigating and overcoming challenges, first of all, I have decided to build a strong head because I recognize that I'm a woman leading men in a men's organization. So there are going to be those moments where you feel like a man is telling you you are not good enough or you shouldn't be my leader. Therefore, I would need to be headstrong to be able to face such challenges. So that is the first thing I have adopted. The second one is to try and build my competence. I try to take up the chances or opportunities to sharpen my skills so that whenever I'm given an opportunity, I am not questioned. I've also done well to consider manners, the way I dress, the way I speak, the way I relate to people, who to talk to, at what time, and about what. It's also something I have put in my focus, and I try to navigate it very well to make leadership easy for me. And the last but not least is also a support system I have created around myself. They are in the form of friends, fellow volunteers, leaders, and even staff of YMCA. When I go the wrong way, they are able to put me on the right track. And if I'm doing well too, they share my successes with me. So that is it for the first question. The second is to how to promote inclusion. So one thing I have seen over time is what in YMCA is we tend to lose a lot of women the moment they get married and start making babies. Even in Ghana, we go for national youth conferences, and someone who came the previous year and was doing very well as a female leader, the following conference, she does not show up because she got married or because she had babies. And I think one way we can include women will be to ensure we provide nursing assistance to our conferences, to our meetings, and even informal arrangements. So no one is left behind. You can come with your baby and have your full attention during the conference or meeting, contribute fully, while someone cares for your child for you, and you can always go back when you want. So we don't lose. There has been movement for women equality. It has been voted for. If it has not been inculcated in our constitution yet, I would say let us do that and ensure it is replicated even down to our local branches, because I go up there and I see things working out there, but I come to my local branch and it is not working. And because I don't have a position at my local branch, if I'm saying let's implement this, they say it has not come from above, so we can't do anything about it. So let us try to replicate all the gender policies up there, down to the local branch level. And I've also put together a mentorship scheme for young women at my branch, especially teenagers, because I realize it is a lot of work trying to navigate your future, especially when it comes to careers and leadership. So currently there are about 4 teenagers I'm mentoring, looking forward to pushing them to take up leadership positions from the local level to the national level and whatever level we can get to. For my third question, how can AAY support leadership development and mentorship of young women? So first, I believe we should be able to recognize challenges that are peculiar to women. So we also tailor workshops to suit them. For instance, like I mentioned, when it comes to nursing and keeping babies, what do we do for women who come to meetings and have babies, or women who have babies so they cannot come to meetings, but they are very much needed there? And then women's support is also very important. So we have a support group where women leaders can share their challenges, they can co-create their own solutions, and then they can also share their experiences so they can tap into each other. Whenever you feel you are empty, you can always go back to that support group and then refill your cup and go back to your leadership. To sustain momentum, what strategies can AAY implement to sustain women empowerment? So for me, I would like to direct this to us women leaders in the YMCA. No one is going to blow our trumpets for us. We may have to shout on top of our voices so the world knows what we are doing, because we are doing a lot to support our countries and ourselves and our communities. So I would say, let us take opportunity of social media, celebrate a fellow woman leader, share their posts, like their posts, comment. Once in a while, you can post any female leader you know and talk about what they do. Let's keep celebrating and supporting each other so we are able to put ourselves out there. Else, no one may do it for us, and we may feel someone doesn't like us. But I believe if we start and we push it, then people's attention will come and they will help us push it. So that will be my reflections. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Francisca, for the reflection. Now let me give the chance to Esther to give us her insight. Esther. Esther, are you there? Hello, Esther. Okay. Okay, let me change. Hello. Hi, Esther.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, it's your chance now to reflect. Yes, please.
Thank you very much. Happy International Day, ladies. I'm happy to start with the challenges that we were talking about. Now, when I'm faced with challenges, usually I know challenges can
Esther, you are not audible. Can you
challenges are
Esther?
there
Esther?
in the world. There's no way
Hello?
one can not have challenges. Yes, yes. You can hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
please speak clearly. Thanks.
Good. So I'm saying the first question is about challenges. And I want to say that challenges make one strong. I want to encourage our young ladies.
Esther, are you there? Esther?
Challenges, you are not able to tackle them, then let's make sure that the people you consult for challenges are people can help you out and not make it worse. Because there are people who rejoice when someone has challenges. So it's very important to know that challenges can make you be a better person, and they can make you also come out of your comfort zone so that you discover yourself more. So it's important to know that challenges can make one be what they never expected to be. There are many examples of people who have come out of challenges to be better people in society because they took the challenges very, very positively. So consult where possible and also act so that whatever challenges one is facing can come out to be a blessing in disguise. Now, about promoting inclusion in YMCA, I would like to say that I think we are on the right path. We are on the right path because given that as we are talking right now, many of us are in leadership position. Look at our sister Nerina. She's now the boss, Africa YMCA. That's something we should celebrate. Look at Ethiopia, vice president. Now, as much as we are the minority at the top, we know that with time and with what we are saying today, it can be taken into consideration, and in future with policies in place, we can have more women representing YMCA. If I can take an example in Kenya, many leadership positions are also being taken by women. In Kenya, for example, we have so many ladies who are chairmen of BMCs in their branch levels. We have very many ladies who are also employed at YMCA branches. So that shows that as much as we still think that we are not excluded, we are at least getting somewhere. Only that policies need to be put in place so that we can know at what level should we be at par with the men. But so far, I think programs are there. We need policies to make people get more jobs at their workplace, programs which are suitable to attract more women so that we don't feel like we are left behind because of policies which don't support us. So I think with time, we'll get there. And I thank this, I take this opportunity to thank the Secretariat for preparing this, because it's one of the forum which is giving us a chance to really express what we need. And I think as time goes by, we'll come out of this and we'll have policies that promote more women in our organization. Now, when it comes to leadership development, I believe that the young women in YMCA need to be developed. How? they should use older people, or they should use older people who can be role models to them. And the young people also should accept to be guided. It's one thing to give them someone who is a role model. It's another thing for the youth or the young ladies to accept to be guided into doing the right thing. So I think we need a lot of mentorship. We also need to encourage our young ladies in YMCA. We need to support them so that if they have projects which we think we can come in as YMCA, let's support them. Because if we don't support them, then they get discouraged and they move away. An example of what we have just had, that when the young ladies get married, they no longer come to YMCA because they are married. I don't think that should be the case. There should be programs that cater for both the single and the married, so that all of them can feel that they are part and parcel of YMCA. So we need audience with such ladies. We need to form programs for them so that they can still remain part of YMCA even when they are married. Because marriage does not exclude anybody from being a member or taking part in YMCA. Now, there's one program that I've seen that works. In Kenya, those who know Kenya, we have what we call women coming together who have like-minded. They put their money together and they get a project, they get partners, and then they use that money to lend to themselves. Those who know Swahili, we call it chama. We can have a chama in YMCA, which is YMCA based, supported by either African Alliance or the national or KYMCA or whichever country those women belong to, so that they know that they can get their own money, or they can be supported to get money from each other. Everyone brings a little, and then they are given skills, and then they work on a project, and then they ask the branch or the African Alliance to support them, maybe get a market for the products, for example, that they have. That one has worked, and it has made women to be busy. Instead of being busy gossiping, they are busy doing a lot of productive work, at least once in a month when they meet. Now, sustaining what we have already talked about. Now, we need equal treatment or equity, fairness. We need to create lasting change in the community of YMCA by giving skills, because once you give skills, it's like you've taught someone how to fish instead of giving fish. So we need those skills that I've talked about earlier then, that we need to have women who can sustain what they've learned through the skills they've been given through mentorship. We can have even exchange programs so that the best group of women in one country can go and showcase how successful they've been with another group in Africa. That will motivate other people or other groups or other branches, and they'll come up with programs that will be shocked. Because I know women, we know we can do better when faced with challenges. So I think let's motivate our women to work hard. Let's give them partners to work with, because once we do that, then we'll be busy using the skills we've learned from YMCA and use them for our benefit. And above all, let's move on and forget about this issue that we are women, so we cannot do it. Let's accept that we can do things just like the men can. The first thing is, let's accept that we can do it. Let's not wait to be helped. Let's help ourselves so that we can also be helped. I think I'll stop there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Esther, for your reflection. Let me give a chance to Irene. Please, let's keep our 5 minutes so that we can have a Q&A with participants. Irene?
Okay. Bonne célébration des droits de la femme à toutes. Merci pour l'initiative qui nous est accordée de pouvoir discuter autour de ce thème. Je vais tout de suite passer à la première question, qui est de savoir les difficultés rencontrées dans mon rôle de leader féminin au Cameroun YMCA. Je voudrais d'avance dire que nous avons la grâce au sein du Cameroun YMCA de ne pas avoir de problème de genre. C'est-à-dire que le leadership féminin au sein du Cameroun YMCA est facilement accepté. Donc déjà, au niveau de la base, on peut trouver les jeunes présidentes d'union locale. C'est vrai qu'au niveau de branche, nous n'avons pas encore de femmes, mais le leadership féminin est plutôt encouragé au sein du Cameroun YMCA. Ce sont plutôt les jeunes, les filles, les femmes qui fuient les responsabilités. Mais sinon, c'est encouragé. Et dans la société en général, il y en a qui n'acceptent pas facilement le leadership féminin, mais par notre compétence, on finit par les gagner. Et aussi, on ne va pas en guerre avec les hommes, mais c'est une question de solidarité. Ils ont leur place, nous avons la nôtre et nous avançons ensemble. Donc, dans l'ensemble, au sein du Cameroun YMCA, le leadership féminin est plutôt encouragé. Et puis, les hommes vraiment à nos côtés nous aident au quotidien à bien accomplir nos missions. Pour ce qui est de la deuxième question, à savoir comment le YMCA peut mieux accueillir les leaders féminins de tous les âges, les stratégies qu'on peut mettre en place pour cela, nous pensons qu'il est question au niveau des unions locales déjà d'intégrer des programmes pour les jeunes filles à partir des clubs, Women's Club par exemple, donc d'intégrer déjà des programmes qui pourraient les intéresser. Nous savons que les activités d'autonomisation, par exemple, intéressent beaucoup les jeunes filles. Lorsque, au niveau de l'union locale, on met déjà de tels programmes, elles se sentent intéressées. Nous devons, pensons également, former les jeunes filles à la responsabilité et au leadership, à les encourager à prendre des positions de leadership dès leur jeune âge. Donc déjà, au niveau des clubs même, nous comptons les encourager à prendre des responsabilités au niveau des unions locales et au niveau des branches, ainsi de suite, les encourager dans ce sens. Nous comptons également travailler avec la déléguée femme pour le renforcement des capacités des Women's Club et des femmes leaders au sein du Cameroun YMCA. Donc, voilà un peu les stratégies que nous comptons mettre en place pour accueillir davantage les leaders femmes au sein de notre mouvement. Pour ce qui est de la troisième question, comment aider le mouvement africain à mieux soutenir le développement et le mentoring des leaders féminins? Nous pensons qu'il est important d'avoir des programmes de formation spécifiques pour les femmes. Ça va les intéresser plus facilement, à savoir qu'elles ont des programmes à elles, c'est intéressant. Nous proposons également que les femmes, la participation des femmes au niveau national et international soit encouragée, donc soutenir la participation des femmes au niveau, dans tous les programmes au niveau national et international. Nous proposons également qu'il y ait des rencontres d'échange, même en ligne, pour discuter du rôle de la femme dans les YMCA en Afrique. Que des plateformes pareilles soient mises sur pied pour encourager les femmes à s'intéresser au leadership. Et j'irai rapidement à la dernière question. Je voudrais partager un peu comment est-ce que nous célébrons la Journée internationale de la femme au Cameroun et par la suite donner quelques stratégies que nous pourrons mettre en œuvre pour garder cet élan au-delà du 8 mars. Le plus souvent, c'est toute une semaine. Ça commence au niveau des branches. Donc, les branches, avec les unions locales, organisent beaucoup d'activités. Et ces activités vont des tables rondes par rapport au thème précis. Ça peut être le thème arrêté sur le plan mondial, sur le plan national, ou bien un thème adapté en fonction de chaque localité. Donc, la semaine est meublée par des tables rondes, par des activités pratiques pouvant aider davantage la femme à s'autonomiser. Ça peut être la fabrication, par exemple, du savon liquide, des détergents. Ça peut être la fabrication de soja, des différentes transformations de soja. Bref, beaucoup d'activités qui peuvent permettre à la femme et à la jeune fille de s'autonomiser. Donc, c'est à peu près ça. Et puis, il y a également une soirée culturelle que les femmes organisent. Donc, voilà un peu comment la Journée internationale de la femme se célèbre au Cameroun, au niveau des unions locales, au niveau des branches. Et ça, sous la supervision de la déléguée femme nationale. Maintenant, les stratégies que nous pouvons mettre en place pour garder cet élan au-delà du 8 mars, pour que ça perdure. Nous pensons qu'il serait bien d'avoir au moins 2 à 3 plateformes comme celle que nous avons aujourd'hui, où nous allons échanger par rapport à des thèmes bien précis concernant la femme. Nous pouvons également profiter des occasions comme la journée de la famille, la journée de l'enfant africain, pour avoir des plateformes d'échange, de véritables discussions par rapport au leadership et à la responsabilité de la femme. Voilà un peu ce que nous pouvons dire. Merci.
Thank you so much, Sharon. So let me give a chance to Nora now. Please, let's keep the time so that you can have the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Happy International Women's Day. Am I audible enough?
Yes, you are, Nora. Please proceed.
Yeah. So, okay, thank you so much for the privilege to speak to amazing women. So to start first with the first question, which is talking about the challenges and how as young people try to navigate around them. So first of all, I think I've come to realize that challenges are part of the leadership journey. However, as human beings would want to stay away from them and everything, but it's something that we can't avoid. One way or the other, we'll have challenges either with the people we are leading or other challenges as finances or lack of resources to navigate around what we want to do. But every time I think I face challenges, I come back to I ask myself, like, the reason why you started. I remember when we were joining the YMCAs, we were quite very excited as young people, and we're like, okay, this is a platform, you know, I'm going to save humanity, I'm going to save my community. So I think every time when I face a challenge, I ask myself the reason why I started. What first made me to join the YMCA? And also aligning my leadership journey with purpose, I think has helped me. So I know that if this is part of what's my purpose and what do I want to do, or how do I want to serve in this community or in this organization, I align it back to my purpose, which I think for me has always been embracing humanity through provision of quality service. So for me, it's more about quality service. And I'm like, okay, Nora, you're having a challenge, you're having a hard time. When you give up or you leave this, don't you think that, you know, jeopardize like your purpose? So I think even as we serve, whenever we align our leadership, our journey with purpose, I think that will help us and also just give us stamina. And also I think there's nothing wrong with asking for help. Every time we hit rock bottom or we are uncertain about the future or what next to do, I think there are always people going ahead of us. There are mentors, or there are people also within the organization. There are other females or other people. I think it's always right, you know, to ask for help. Yes, this can be your national general secretary or even just other women leaders out there. And also I have come to realize that networking is really helpful. There are things that sometimes, you know, we will be struggling as a branch or as a province, and we really just don't know how to go about it. But through networking, I think other people have been there like to help us and to just see how we navigate through. Going to the second question, which is basically talking about leadership development, how Africa YA can, promoting inclusion. In what ways do you believe African YMCA can foster a more inclusive environment for women of all backgrounds? So I think for me, when it comes to inclusion, I'll go back to networking. And I'll give us an example as Zambia YMCA. Initially, because for me, I work mainly with the young people, so I'll talk more on the youth leadership and also being female. So initially, we had opened like a YMCA at one of the universities, which we call Levi Mwanawasa University. It's a medical school. So I came to realize that most of our membership were either doctors, nurses, or physiotherapists. There was not that, yes, there was that inclusion, but it was more of health and it was more from the medical field. And it was kind of easy because myself being a medical student and also a human biologist. But then with time, I came to realize that there are so many matters and we need different opinions and different people. So this is what now led us to opening to YMCA branches to other universities like the University of Zambia. And being deliberate about such locations is that when you go to such universities, they are not just offering one course. You have lawyers, you have people who are doing development studies, you have people, young people who are studying social sciences, you know, or social work. So this time, like when you come to the Zambia YMCA, just from the youth board, you find that my vice is a lawyer, myself, I'm becoming a medical doctor, and there are other people who you find they are, you know, faculty. So I think if we were to put this inclusion, we have to be deliberate where we are planting the YMCAs and the people we are also bringing in, and also outreach, you know, the community saving. I think we can diversify. We can look at the minority groups. Is it people living with albinism? Is it people who are differently able? I think reaching out to such people and you know, just reaching out to them, I think will be helpful to the Zambia, to YMCA also, if we were to reach this inclusion. And also, I feel learning to respect people's beliefs. I am a Christian, right or right, but then I think there are moments I've met people who may not be Christian, they may be Muslims also. When I go to them, yes, it's not that, oh, I want to convert and everything, but learning to incorporate and letting people express their beliefs, I think that can be helpful. And sometimes people have different choices, and just allowing these people in our spaces and not judging them, or making them feel like, okay, your way is something else or something like that. So that helps us to have that inclusion. And then coming to the third question, which is
I think we have lost the connection with Nora, unless it's only me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Laura.
Okay.
Okay, then let me give a chance to Sharon then.
talking about leadership.
Oh, okay, she's back. Hi, Nora. Nora? Okay, we lost her now. Okay, let me give a chance to Sharon then.
Internet got
Nora?
interrupted. Am I still audible now?
Yes, now you are audible. Now you
Okay.
are audible, yeah.
Yes, so I was saying we have been advocating for 30% women representation. I think that should be minimum, which is good and amazing. But the question I always ask us of, what happens if we achieve the 30% and our women are not prepared? So for me, if we're going to develop leadership, I feel we need mentorship, and we need to train, we need to be trained as young women, as young leaders. Even when we're getting those responsibilities, I feel the way God created us as women, we are unique and we are amazing. But I feel we are much more beyond than just negotiating for a 30% representation. If I am going to be a leader, I think I should be able to lead, or I don't want to be a leader and the world is saying, okay, she's a leader because she's a woman, she's on that position because she's a woman. No, you are a leader because you have the ability and you are able to do that. So if I can give an example, maybe positions of treasurers and so on.
Nora?
The question is that, yes?
Nora?
Hello?
Okay,
Yes,
we lost
am
her
I
again.
audible?
So let me give a chance to Sharon then to reflect on.
Hello?
We can hear Nora.
Am I audible enough?
From my end, I can hear Nora, so maybe she can finish up.
Okay.
Yes, Nora, please finish. You are
Okay, let me just find out also.
Yes, and also
Okay.
mind of the time so that we can have also the other participants.
Hello? I can wind up?
Yes, go ahead and finish. Yeah.
Okay. So I think if we're going to empower these young women, I think we need training and we need to be ready for the positions that we're advocating for. It should go beyond than just having a representation, but it should be when people are having those positions, they are able to carry out. So for me, it takes me back to education. Let's empower the young people, the teenagers who are coming, and also even all these young women who are coming there, that the time when they are leading or they have that position, it won't be an issue of, oh, you are here because you're a woman and we just but here because you and then the last question, which is saying to sustain momentum, as we celebrate International Women's Day, what strategies can African YMCAs implement? So I think if we're going to sustain as older women, I think they should be able to mentor young people. It would be amazing. We look up to you, and yes, we do believe in you. So I think even after this, I think there should be sessions where young people can be mentored, and networking, I think for me, is a great tool if we are to grow and go forward as an organization. Thank you so much.
So, thank you so much, Noran, for your reflection. Let me give a chance to Sharon, and then we'll go forward to
Hi,
George.
thank you. Thank you so much. I made it home finally. I'll just jump right into the discussion, and just like to share that most of the things have been shared by my fellow presenters, so I wouldn't really want to repeat much of what they've said. So I wouldn't follow the questions. I'm not going to follow them really like question one to the last one, but I'll just share my experience as a female leader in the organization. So one thing with YMCA, and I think the reason why I've stuck with the organization much is the fact that this is where I got to be called a leader first before I even knew what being a leader is, and the fact that they saw the skills in me and they took it upon them to nurture me and make me the leader that I am today is something that I feel I can never repay the organization enough for what they did to me. The journey has not been easy, but it has been fun. It has been challenging. It's been agonizing. It's been every other thing. It's just been a roller coaster. And if I talk of one of the challenges that maybe the previous presenters didn't mention is the fact that you get to, I wouldn't want to call it enemies, but you get to brush shoulders with a lot of people the more you rise up the leadership ladder, which you just get to get a lot of enemies. You start having a lot of accusations, you start having a lot of people who are sidelining you because they feel you are much more privileged or they feel you no longer belong with them. And one thing I've always held with myself is understanding the structure of the organization. And I always remind people wherever I go, whenever I go, and whatever I do, my roots are within my branch, and I understand where I belong within the Kenya YMCA, and I understand the kind of services I can give to the Africa Alliance. And as much as I'm not much involved with the World Alliance, I understand what kind of roles or how much I can contribute to the World Alliance. So to myself, I've always founded my roots at the branch level, and I understand the structure. I appreciate the structure and how it works. The second thing I've held much onto is the fact that as a YMCA member, I'm first a young person. I'm first youth before I'm a woman, before I'm a leader, before I'm any other thing. So the organization seeks to empower young people for the African Renaissance, and I believe my role, my existence in the organization is not majorly based on the fact that I'm a woman or I'm any other thing. It's solely based on the fact that I'm a young person. And as a young person, I'm entitled to every other right as a male young person or any other young person. So I don't believe I should be excluded, or I don't believe in exclusion just basically based on the fact that I'm a woman. So I wouldn't really let someone, sideline me from any activity, any leadership structure, any leadership opportunity in the organization just because I'm female or anything. Because in the end, if you want to empower young people, I'm a young person and I'm entitled to that empowerment as a young person. So that is that. And the other thing I've done much that I feel, okay, it has been touched on well, but a family, YMCA is a family, and a family is prone to having a lot of conflicts. And learning how to resolve conflicts or probably avoid conflicts before they come up is something that I've really come to appreciate in the organization. Majorly because I've had certain experiences where communications were supposed to be going this and that way, but then there's miscommunication or you get misquoted at a particular point, or people, they just misquote you so that, and the aftermath is you get in trouble. So generally, I've learned to have proper communication structure, and it's something I try to encourage people to borrow, because in the end, if you're sending, let's say you are sending an email, always work on seeing someone, at least have someone else aware of the communication that you are sharing. It helps a lot in reducing conflict. Another thing I've really worked on is having allies. Again, I've said as you rise up the leadership ladder, you tend to have brush shoulders with a lot of people. So you work on having your allies, having people who are on your team, having people who are ready to back you up or defend you. And that is something I've had. I have so many people who are willing to back me up. Many people who are like, when you stand to speak, this and this person is definitely going to support you as a young person. And it always feels great, especially since most of them are women. A lot have come, a lot have really mentored me, guided me, helped me manage my emotions whenever the rooms are tense and everything. So it's something that I've really appreciated within the organization. Other things that have not been spoken of. Another thing is, again, I said the organization is majorly working towards empowering young people. So from my end as a woman, in as much as we need to push for inclusion and every other thing, I always believe on coming to the organization, not from a point of we are desperate as women, or we feel excluded as women, or we feel, I don't know how to call it, but not coming to the organization with a negative mindset, but more of coming to the organization with questions like, what can I do? Or coming up with ideas like, this is what we can do for the organization. Because at the end, at least for my YMCA, generally people never listen when you come with problems, and you'll start getting tagged names that are not really friendly. So I encourage us to look at every problem from a point of providing solutions rather than leaving them at their problems. And more of having things that you need to be done rather than talking about things that are not being done. And lastly, I'll really encourage, I think that was the last question, what can we do? And I'll really encourage a lot of interconnectedness. One thing with YMCAs, and especially with African YMCAs, we are generally YMCAs, we are so similar in a lot of things that we are doing, until you come to the little things that matter, but people tend to overlook, like the leadership and all that. And if you see my organization, Kenya Y, people even get shocked when you start talking about women. Women don't have this, women don't have that, because I wouldn't really list it in the category of one of the organizations that are not working towards achieving women empowerment and inclusion and all that. And I'd give us a 70% or an 80 out of 100. And now the sad part is when this is what Kenya Y is experiencing, and women in Kenya YMCA are going through like this beautiful journey of inclusion. Then you go to other YMCAs and you are sharing with them, and they don't understand. What do you mean you have 50% of women representation in your YMCA or more? Or what do you mean you have nice programs for women? What do you mean you have this and that and that? And it's because we don't get to share, and we don't have a uniform a uniformed kind of approach when it comes to women issue within the YMCA. And I think the other time during the General Assembly, there are discussions over what needs to be done, and some women were raising concerns, and others were not able to catch up or follow because it's not our reality with our realities within the YMCAs. When they're complaining over this, we could not really relate. So if we can have interconnectedness, share as much as we can, so that at least we're able to level up all the YMCAs when it comes to inclusion and empowerment. I really don't want to go beyond that. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sharon, for your reflection. Now let's hear from George de la Coffee, because we really need to hear from the male perspective. So George, it's time for you to reflect on our discussion.
Hello, everyone. Happy International Women's Day to other women here. First of all, I'd like to say a big thank you to AAY for organizing such a big webinar. When I saw the list of women on the panel list, I realized that Africa YMCA is in good hands and we can prosper. I'd like to give a few bit of reflections. I was writing a couple of reflections down when my fellow people were speaking, and I realized that firstly, we need to foster intergender webinars. But I think that we should have more of these kind of webinars or these shows where we can have men and women on the same platform or on the same table discussing how to improve women in the YMCA. Because I also think that we should promote diversity and forging inclusiveness through education. I think most women don't think they can put themselves in that higher position or take that higher roles in the YMCA or in any leadership forms. I think the YMCA or the African YMCA or our local YMCA should promote these things through education to let the women know that it is possible for them to have this higher position as well. And thirdly, I think we should embrace the uniqueness of women. We should embrace women, because if we don't embrace how women are, we can't even promote them. So I think this embracement shouldn't be meant for only the men. It should be meant for both women and men. We should embrace women at this leadership position. And lastly, I want to say that investing in women accelerates progress. So women should invest in women and men should invest in women as well. It will help the whole women issue of leadership roles be sorted out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, George, so much for your reflection. Now it's time for question and answering. To facilitate that, let me give the floor to Nerina.
Thank you. Thank you very much for all our panelists for your reflections. And thank you particularly to Dela for your reflection as representing now the male reflection. We really appreciate. Unfortunately, I'm afraid that we do not have enough time to receive all the questions in direct. So what I will do is to read a few comments from our attendants from the chat box. One of the questions that we have here, and that was from Solange, is how do we foster the female leadership, and how do we give opportunities for our young girls to win their fear and take the responsibility? So I guess it has been already shared by our panelists. Anyway, the question was before in the middle of the presentation, so it has been responded. At the same time, she also has shared some solutions that I'm just going to read, few of them. One is to always promote education and leadership training for young people, particularly young female, and also to organize attracting activities so that we attract more female participants in our YMCA. So that is at the same time the response that our friend Solange has put in the chat box. Then one other comment, and I think I will stop there. One of the comments that is from the chat box is to really emphasize that we should not stop this initiative right now. We need to continue, and we need to have more opportunities for us to speak about women's promotion, women's leadership, and also participation in the Y. So I think I will stop there, Ethiopia, and go back to you for concluding remarks. I really reiterate our thank you for all of our panelists and all of our participants who also have raised questions and comments from the chat box. And again, we are very sorry that we cannot accommodate more questions given the time. Thank you. Back to you, Ethiopia.
Thank you so much, Nerina. It's really a pleasure to have this discussion, this family conversation with all the panelists, and I would like to thank everyone who showed up tonight. Women are the real architect of the society. As African Alliance will continue to support gender equality and women empowerment, and continue mainstreaming gender perspective in all aspects of African Alliance work. And we also want to collaborate with you all, the African Alliance and YMCA, also the movement, with you all in the new initiative and the existing one in regards to women empowerment and gender equity. As we celebrate the strengths and the resilience of women around the world, may we continue to uplift, empower, and support each other. Happy Women's Day again. Wishing a day filled with love, joy, and recognition to every strong woman who continue to inspire, lead, and make a difference. You all are truly remarkable, and thanks so much, Nerina, African Alliance Secretariat, to organize this family conversation, and I hope we'll continue this conversation in the future. Thank you all. Have a good night. Back to you, Nerina.
Thank you so much, Ethiopia. So good night, everyone, and we hope to have all of you again in our next event. And thanks a lot to the panelists.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Merci. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.